we talk about this concept called fraud, and fraud on the government, fraud on an employer commits fraud on consumers, a corporation commits fraud on shareholders, directors of a corporation commit fraud on shareholders. But this overarching question is, what is fraud? And there's what we call as lawyers sort of a common law definition of fraud. And the common law definition of fraud is that it occurs where a wrongdoer makes a representation that he or she knows, whether it's a corporation or an individual, is false. The victim relies on the representation to his or her detriment and sustains injury. And that's the common law definition of fraud. There are sort of statutory spin-offs from that, and one statutory spin-off is fraud, or the type of fraud or wrongdoing that can be redressed under the Federal False Claims Act. And the Federal False Claims Act is a statute that dates back to the presidency of Abraham Lincoln, and it allows individuals to bring suit in the name of the United States government, where the United States government has sustained injury because a private actor, whether it's a corporation, a large corporation, or an individual, has engaged in a pattern of wrongful or deceptive conduct that causes the government harm. And when you analyze a false claims case, it's not a typical standard reliance analysis that we would look at as if we were applying sort of the common law, state common law tradition. It's a statutory analysis, and the question you ask yourself is, did the misrepresentation or the obligation to disclose something when there was an obligation, was it material? And if the government knew about it, not did the government rely on it, but would the government have done something differently? And that's the kind of thing you look at when you're talking about a false claims case. But sort of that is a spin-off from the traditional understanding of what fraud is.